Okay, I'm back with card 2 for the May Club cards. So you all received one of these thank you cards in with your April club order, and today I'm going to show you how to make the card. And this, I'm calling this the Paper Pieced Rose. So this uses the Rose Wonder bundle. Well, it's not bundled anymore. It used to be bundled. But it's retiring. So this is the Rose Wonder stamp set, and it's photopolymer, and there's lots of it in there. This rose here is huge. Look at the size of it. And it's absolutely wonderful for coloring with the blends or watercolor pencils or anything. Then there's a whole bunch of sentiments that go along with it too. There's sympathy and wedding and birthday, and this is one of the sets that I recommended to new stampers because of the versatility of it. And it also has coordinating dies. So there's a die for the big, die for the big rose, a leaf die, a die for the small flower, and then there's a die for the sentiments as well. So we're not going to use those. We're using this other die, the die for the medium-sized rose. And I've already cut it out, so that's the one we're using. Okay. So basic starting of the card is quite easy. Oh, the recipe. So there's the recipe for it. And of course you'll be getting a copy of the recipe, so it's not like you have to do it right away. Okay. The inside. Aha! Ooh, ah. Okay. So not everybody's going to get the same designer paper, and there's two sides to the paper, so you can use whatever side you want. It doesn't really matter. And I am so proud of myself that I have used all but a few scraps and one piece that is about 12 by 8 left from this designer paper, which is called Petal Palette. And now it's sold out, so I can't even recommend that you get it. Oh, okay. I'm talking too much and not paying attention because I did the step 2 instead of step 1. Now, my kit's a bit different than yours because I already had this cut to size, and when I made up the kits, I made this strip here. I made it the full 6 inches because it's just easier for me to cut. So you need to, before you put this designer paper on the cardstock, you need to put yours on so that you can snip off the excess. See, it's too long for that designer paper. So that should be your first step, but mine's already cut to size because I cut this kit when I was cutting all the other ones for your cards. Okay, put those back. So there's the basic card. And then you just attach it to the thick Whisper White card base. So I got a new lamp for well, it's not new, I just dug it out of my storage area. And I'm hoping that you're going to be able to see a little bit better. So there you go. There's the base of the card. Can't do the inside yet because I need to do the flower part first. So going to punch out the gold foil is punched out with a 2 1/4 inch circle. And if you don't have these punches, you can buy them. But you can also use dies if you want them. Okay, so I used thank you on all of your cards. And I'm not going to stamp the ones that I ship out to the out-of-town people because I'm sure you have sentiments that you can use. And for this one, I'm just going to do happy birthday. You just want to make sure that you put your sentiment up a little bit so that you can overlap your rows over top of it. So if you see, my thank you is up a bit higher because I put the corner of the rose on there. So now I'm going to take the 2-inch punch and punch out the happy birthday and put it up a little bit. And I'm going to layer this over top of this. So I'm watching Netflix right now, and I'm watching When Calls the Heart. I really like that show. And it's, I think it's 5 seasons now it's been on. But on Netflix, they have all the early ones, so it's kind of cool to be able to go back and watch the show right from the beginning. Sorry, I didn't have it centered properly, and you know me, how OCD-ish I am. So I just needed to redo this. There we go. And pop a couple of dimensionals on there. I have mine all cut up into little squares because I did an event with a bunch of church ladies, and they only had to use 2 dimensionals on their cards, so I cut all the dimensional sheets up so I could have 3 or 4 on each table. They weren't waiting for them. Okay, happy birthday going on. There we go. Happy birthday done. Now the flower. This is the exciting part. So you're going to get 3 pieces of cardstock in your kit. And I was hoping I was going to be able to send it to you with the adhesive already on the back, but I'm thinking that there's going to be issues with it because I don't want it to come off in shipping and end up with sticky. So I'm sorry, but a little bit of Tombow glue or a glue pen or something will help. I didn't use a glue pen when I did, or the adhesive sheets when I did it. I used Tombow. So you take the black cutout. I'm just taking off the little feathery things that are sticking out. That's what I'm doing. Okay, so you just take the black cutout and put it on top of the black sheet. Now, you're saying, what the heck? The reason I'm doing that is because now we have to paper piece all these little cutout pieces in here. And you have to have a backing of some sort for these things to be on. So I'm just taking this and the adhesive off. And then over top of the adhesive, I'm going to poke out some pieces. And then they just slip in here like this. Now if you don't have adhesive on the back of yours, just put a couple of dabs of Tombow inside these holes and it holds really well. That's what I did to all the cards when I made them. Apparently I have quite a shadow happening here, and it's getting a little difficult for me to see, so I'm just going to move my lamp a little bit so that maybe I won't have that shadow. Okay, come on pieces, let's pitter patter get at her here. Okay. Oh, still getting that shadow. Oh well. Sometimes things work and sometimes they don't. When you're doing this, if you're using these adhesive sheets, try not to get your fingers on it too much because you'll pull the adhesive off and then they won't stick properly. As I'm telling you that, as I'm putting my fingers all over it and getting the sticky coming off. That's okay. That's alright. Don't worry. Be happy. Now I'm getting to the little pieces. Now it's time to get my scissors out so I can use them as tweezers. See how easy it comes and quick it comes together? Because there's not that many pieces to this die. This designer paper that I'm using, I forgot to tell you all about the designer paper. It's called Painted with Love designer paper. And when the catalog came out, this is in the occasion catalog, and when it came out, I thought, that's really quite ugly. And I decided that I was not getting it. Yeah, okay. You know me. Takes me a while, but I eventually catch on to the rest of the world. So I'm just taking the rest of the rows out of the die. And you won't, the people that get these in the mail won't have to worry about this because this will all be done for you. Oh, you know what I didn't show you? Oh, I'll have to do that. Shoot. Because I used adhesive on the back of this. So I didn't show you a really cool trick. So I will do that. So I'm just going to use this on the inside of the card. So you can put it wherever you want it. Like this. And then just cut the pieces off that overlap. And there you got your rows on the inside too. All with one cut. Okay, first of all, the designer paper. Okay, it's called Painted with Love. And you know, I think it's sold out too. But look at these sheets. They have gold foil on them. This is the one that I cut for here. And then there's this one. And I looked at these and I thought, oh my God, what horrible, ugly patterns. But you know what? If you use little bits of them instead of great big huge pieces of them, look at that one. Just look at that. Just look at that. What have I been missing showing you for the past 4 months? I can't believe it. The one that I cut up for the rose, it has the gold foil on the other side in the hearts. Yeah, it's pretty cool paper. I'm just trying to find my list. Nope, it's not sold out. So, as of right now, May the 1st, you could still order that. Okay, so I need a sponge and Peekaboo Peach ink, which is retiring. So sad to see Peekaboo Peach go away. And I'm just going to sponge the edge of the cardstock for the inside. I don't do a lot of sponging, and people have been commenting that they miss the sponging. So there you go. That's twice I've sponged today. Still haven't finished with that flower, but I'm just going to stick this inside the card while I think about it. Got to find the right card. Here we are. Oh, there's the card. This is the envelope, and this is one of the stamps from the Rose Wonder stamp set. Let's get things out of the way so I don't end up with ink everywhere. So there's also a die to match this one. And just do a few stamps on there. And the envelope is done. Now to finish off the rose. So you've got the black outline and you've got all your pieces pieced in there. Now we're going to use Winky on the designer paper pieces because no card is complete without bling. Oh, it was so funny. I was out visiting a friend today and I walked in. She has a store here in town. And I walked into her store and she looked at me and she started to laugh. She said, "You've got glitter all over your face." Well, of course, we're laughing away, and there was a guy in there doing a delivery. And he looked at me and he said, "You know, the day is better when you have glitter in it." I just looked at him, I thought, how cool is that? It's not only me that likes glitter. I don't know who this dude was, but he was kind of cool. There. So I didn't spend a lot of time making sure all the corners and everything were done, but there we go. Wink Stella on there, look. Ooh. So now comes the hardest part of the whole card, especially when you're doing it at night and you don't have good vision. You've got to cut around the outside of that original black die cut. And because I put black underneath there, if you miss a bit, you're never going to tell the difference. Look at that. Look at that. How cool is that? And all you're going to do is just pop it up on some dimensionals and stick it on your card. See, it doesn't take too long. It's a fussy cutting, but it's not really fussy. And if you kind of angle your scissors this way like I'm doing, you're kind of doing an undercut too. So even if you miss a little bit, you won't see too much of it because it's undercut underneath the frame. I know, I'm so full of these useless information tidbits. There we go. That didn't take too long. What, like 30 seconds? Now, I'm not going to put dimensional up here because I want that to overlap like that, and I don't want it to stick up. So I'm just going to put the dimensionals around the bottom part. Love my mini dimensionals. Okay, let's see. I can still put one there. There we go. Make sure they're on there good. Sometimes I don't do that, and then when I go to take the liners off, the dimensionals come up. Not because they're not sticky, it's because I haven't put them on properly. Put that over top like that. And there you go. It's done. Okay, but I did want to show you one last little thing. So I still have to cut all these little bits out for the cards that I'm sending out. So I'm going to actually cut one of the ones that I need to use. So I'm not putting adhesive on the back. I'm going to cut this out. So bear with me 2 secs. I'll be right back. So I've discovered something in my old age here. I used to put the dies in the Big Shot and wing them through. If you slow down and let it go through slowly, it actually gives the Big Shot time to cut properly. And then I usually only run things through once because I've also discovered that running them through once, they don't get jammed into the dies as much as if you run it through a couple of times. Then all the little pieces get jammed right into the die cuts or the dies, especially if you're using the precision plate. Yeah, don't ever run things through twice on the precision plate. Okay, so this is called press and seal. This is press and seal. And it's sticky on one side. So if it folds itself over, it stays there. And it's like nigh on impossible to get it off. But holy macaroni, is it ever cool for doing this technique. So you just put it sticky side down right onto the die cut. And then rub it really good into all the little pieces. Just like this. And then when you push them out, oops, they push into the press and seal and they don't move. This one's not too bad because the pieces are quite big, but if you'd want to do this with something tinier, it really works to tell where the little pieces go. Oh, there's this one. I always forget that one little one there. So now, if I very carefully pull this off, and you see what I'm doing? Pulling these and trying to keep all the little pieces in their place. It takes a little bit of time to work them out, but they come eventually. Apparently that one didn't cut off properly. Oops. Hey, that one piece didn't stick. I'll just poke that through like that. Come on. That one goes in there. And there you go. There's all the pieces for your rose and where they need to go in to put into your black. See? See? It's easy. And they just stay there like that, and then all you have to do is go back and poke out the rose part. So I have a pokey tool. I used to have a pokey tool in my craft room. And I was using it one day, and I cleaned up and never thought anything about it. 2 days later, I was looking for my pokey tool, and it's nowhere to be found. The sad thing is, in between me using it and then losing it was a garbage day. And a garbage day with a recycle. So I have no idea where my pokey tool went. But I have a sneaky suspicion that it's in the landfill or in the recycle bin somewhere. Somebody's enjoying it. I hope nobody got poked with it. There we go. There's a flower. Now because there's no adhesive sheet on the back of this, it won't be as easy to attach, but to put it on the inside. But all you have to do is just use a little dotted Tombow or glue stick or something, and there you go. So that's the cool trick with press and seal. And this is in the kitchen aisle at any grocery store. I've been using it for years, and it's really kind of cool. And then for shipping, I'm just going to poke this back in here. So that's how you'll get it in your card kit when you get it. So there you go. There's the second card. This is called the Paper Pieced Rose Technique. And you can do that with any die. Okay, so that's it for this one. Uh-oh, was this thing in the way the whole time? I hope not. Anyways, I don't know whether I'm going to get the other one done tonight because it's like almost 9:30, but at least I got 2 of them done. And by the time I post them, you guys will never know what day I did them anyway. So, happy May Day, because today's May the 1st, and it's May Day. And on Friday is May the 4th. May the 4th be with you. That's my birthday, and I'll be celebrating at Blue Marlin. I keep wanting to call it the Arlie. The Blue Marlin is having a burger and beer night as a fundraiser for John Paul II School, where our grandchildren go. and that's where I'm going to be spending my birthday dinner with my grandchildren. So, ta-ta for now, and hope to see you soon in my craft room. Bye.